You've got 24 hours every single day. You are given the same amount of time as everyone else. The question is, what are you doing with it? You see, time doesn't care about your dreams or your struggles. It's not biased, it doesn't judge it. Simply moves forward. Every second that ticks away is gone, never to return. But here's the secret: success is predictable. It's not luck, it's not magic, it's how you use those 24 hours. Successful people don't just let time pass them by, they use every moment with intention. Every hour is an opportunity to build, to grow, to get closer to the life they want. And that's what I want you to understand. How you use your time determines the quality of your life. Now you might be thinking, but Jim, I'm so busy. We all are, but let me tell you something: being busy is not the same as being productive. Let's take a closer look at how successful people use their 24 hours and how you can start using yours in a way that moves you toward your goals, your dreams, and your success. Because when you master your time, you master your life. Let's talk about something that we all have in common: time. Every one of us has 24 hours in a day. Doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter where you're from, doesn't matter your age, your background, or your education. You are given 24 hours, nothing more, nothing less. Now I want you to consider something for a moment. How often do you think about time? I mean, really think about it. Most people take time for granted. They let it slip through their fingers like sand. But let me tell you, time is the most precious asset you will ever have. You can lose money and make it back. You can lose friends and find new ones. But once time is gone, it's gone forever. Time is more valuable than money. You can get more money, but you cannot get more time. You see, when you understand the value of time, you begin to see your life in a different light. You start to realize that every second, every minute, every hour is an opportunity to move forward, an opportunity to get better, an opportunity to build the life you want. Successful people understand this principle. They know that time is finite, and because of that, they treat every moment like gold. They don't waste time, they don't let it slip away. They protect it, guard it, and invest it wisely. The thing about time is you don't know how much you have. No one knows the future. No one knows how many days, months, or years they have left. That's why successful people make the most of every moment. Let me ask you, how often do you stop and ask yourself, how am I spending my time? Because let me tell you, if you're not being intentional about how you use your time, you're wasting it, and wasting time is one of the greatest mistakes you can make. Time doesn't wait for you, it doesn't wait for anyone. The clock keeps ticking whether you're ready or not. Don't spend time beating on a wall hoping to transform it into a door. That's a quote I often remind myself of. It's about making sure you're using your time to open doors, not to pound on walls that lead nowhere. Now I'm not saying you should live in constant pressure, constantly feeling like you have to do something every minute of every day. That's not what I mean. What I'm saying is that successful people spend their time with purpose. They use their hours to move forward, to grow, to create. Time is like money. You spend it, you invest it, but most importantly, you must be wise with it. You wouldn't spend your money recklessly, so why spend your time recklessly? Time is the one thing we all have, yet most of us waste it. Don't be one of those people. Think about how you're spending your time today. Is it helping you get closer to your goals, or is it just passing by like so many others do? The choice is yours. Remember, successful people don't have more time than you, they just use it differently, and that's the key to mastering your time and your life. So here's what I want you to do today. Take an inventory of your time. Ask yourself, am I using it to move toward what I want, or am I just letting it slip away? Because how you spend your time today will determine who you are tomorrow, and trust me, that's the kind of success you don't want to miss out on. Let me tell you something that changed my life. Success is not something you stumble upon. It doesn't show up at your doorstep like a surprise package. It's Not a mystery, and it's not reserved for the lucky few. Success is planned, it's designed, it's built brick by brick, day by day, and it starts with one simple thing: a plan. Now most people wake up in the morning and just react. They respond to emails, to messages, to noise. They get pulled in every direction, and by the end of the day they wonder why they haven't made any progress. But successful people, they don't live by default, they live by design. They begin their day on purpose, with clarity, with intention, with a plan. I learned early on that if you don't have a plan for your life, someone else will fit you into theirs, and they don't always have your best interests in mind. If you don't design your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan, and guess what they have planned for you? Not much. Those are my words, and I meant every one of them. You see, your 24 hours are like a blank canvas, and without a plan you'll end up with scribbles and chaos. But when you design your day with goals, with focus, with purpose, that's when life starts to take shape. That's when the masterpiece begins. Planning gives direction to your time. It tells your energy where to go. It keeps you from drifting. Now, planning doesn't mean you control everything. Life happens, surprises show up, but when you have a plan, you have a compass, something to bring you back when the winds change. Think of it this way: successful people plan their days before they start. They block time for important work. They set clear goals. They prioritize. They don't just say, I hope today is productive. They say, here's what I will do today, and here's how I'll do it. Because hope is not a strategy. Hope is a good breakfast, but a terrible dinner. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment, and planning is where that discipline begins. Here's what I want you to do. Start each day with 5 minutes of planning. That's it, 5 quiet minutes to map out your day. Ask yourself, what matters most today? What must get done? What will move me closer to my goals? And write it down, not in your head, on paper. On purpose, because a plan in your mind is just a wish, but a plan on paper, that's a blueprint. That's the beginning of structure, and structure is what builds success. When the promise is clear, the price is easy, but if you're not clear on what you want to build with your time, you'll never pay the price. You'll always choose comfort over discipline. Remember, every successful person you admire started with a plan. They didn't wing it. They sat down, they thought it through. They made a map, and then they followed it one step at a time. So today, stop leaving your life to chance. Stop hoping success will find you. Design it, plan it, own it, because the truth is this: you are the architect of your life, and every hour you plan wisely becomes a brick in the foundation of your future. Don't waste your hours, design them, and watch what happens. Let me tell you what I've learned in my journey. Success is not one big event. It's not winning the lottery. It's not one lucky break. It's not some grand moment of arrival. Success is a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Now, most people don't fail because of one big mistake. They fail because of small errors in judgment repeated every day, and that's the difference. See, every day you're making choices: what to eat, what to read, who to listen to, what to do with your time. And here's the truth: those small choices don't seem like much in the moment, but they compound. Do them right, and they lead you to a life of success. Do them wrong, and they quietly lead you to failure. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Failure is simply a few errors in judgment repeated every day. That's the formula, that's the secret. And yet it's so easy to miss. Why? Because the results are invisible at first. You skip a workout, nothing changes. You eat junk for a day, no big deal. You waste a couple hours scrolling, life still moves on. But do it for a week, a month, a year. Suddenly you're miles away from where you wanted to be. That's why the successful are disciplined, not because they're better, not because they're lucky, but because they understand this law of life. Everything affects everything. You go to bed late, it affects your morning. You miss your morning, it affects your focus. You lose focus, you lose direction, and it all started with one small choice. So how Do successful people use their 24 hours? They fill those hours with disciplines. Habits, routines they create a rhythm of. Success day by day they read when others scroll, they journal when others gossip. They reflect when others complain, they take responsibility when others blame. Discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons, and that's why you build habits now. So you don't carry regret later. Let me give you an example. Let's say you decide to read 10 pages of a good book every day. That doesn't sound like much, right? But 10 pages a day is 300 pages a month. That's a book, 12 books a year in 5 years. 60 books. Imagine the ideas, the wisdom, the power that would build inside you. That's the power of daily habit. Success doesn't ask you for everything today, it asks you for a little bit every day, just like planting seeds. You don't plant a seed and see fruit the next morning. You water, you protect, you stay consistent. And one day you harvest, but if you quit watering halfway through the season, you get nothing, and that's what I see far too often. People start strong, then they stop. Consistency is what transforms average into extraordinary. If you want to be successful, don't ask what can I do once. Ask what can I do every day. Can you wake up early even when you don't feel like it? Can you say no to distractions even when they're tempting? Can you do the right thing especially when no one's watching? That's discipline, and discipline is what builds character, and character is what builds success. So here's what I want you to remember: your habits will either serve you or enslave you, and the beautiful thing, you get to choose. Small disciplines repeated with faith and consistency will lead to big results, but you've got to believe in the process, because the little things aren't little, they're everything. Choose your daily habits wisely, protect them fiercely, because they are the invisible architects of your future. Start small, stay consistent, and let the compound effect do its quiet, powerful work. Let me tell you one of the greatest lessons I ever learned. If you want life to get better, you have to get better, not your boss, not the economy, not the government, you. And the only way you get better is by learning. Now here's something to think about: the same wind blows on us all, the winds of opportunity, the winds of change, the winds of challenge, but it's not the blowing of the wind that determines your destination, it's the set of your sail. And how do you set your sail? With education, with awareness, with personal growth. You see, your 24 hours are your most valuable currency, and how you invest them will determine your return. And let me tell you, there's no greater return than the return that comes from investing in yourself. Formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. When I was 25 years old, broke and discouraged, someone gave me that idea, and it changed my life. They said, "Jim, if you want more, you must become more. For things to change, you must change." And that was at the turning point. I made a decision to become a student, not just a student in school, but a student of life, a student of success, a student of my own potential. I started reading 10 pages a day, sometimes 20. I listened to audios, took notes, attended seminars, spent time with people who knew more than I did. I gave my free time to growth, and slowly things began to change. Not because the world changed, but because I did. You've got to learn to value your time like a millionaire, even if you're not one yet. Because successful people know time is the seed of opportunity, and when you use it to learn, it multiplies. Read the books, watch the lectures, study success, ask questions, take notes, reflect, because the more you learn, the more you see, and the more you see, the more you can do. Most people spend their time consuming entertainment. The successful spend their time feeding their mind. They don't just scroll, they study. They don't just listen, they absorb. They don't just attend, they apply. You have to guard your learning time like it's sacred, because it is. Here's a good question to ask yourself every night: what did I learn today? Not just what you did, but what you gained. What insight did you pick up? What truth did you discover? What lesson did life whisper to you? Because if you go through a day and don't learn something, you Wasted it, you spent the time but got no return. Don't let your mind go to waste. You were born with unlimited potential, but you have to unlock it, and the key is learning. Remember, your income rarely exceeds your level of personal development. If you want to earn more, serve more, live more, you have to grow more. Don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. You don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are. And to become more, you must know more. So take time every day, even if it's just 30 minutes to grow. Wake up a little earlier. Read instead of watching the news. Listen to something uplifting on your commute. Turn off distractions and turn on your brain, because if you keep learning, you'll keep rising. And here's the beauty of it: no one can take it from you. Money comes and goes, jobs change, markets shift, but who you become, that stays with you. Invest in yourself, because that investment pays the best interest, and it just might be the reason your next 24 hours look completely different from your last. Stay a student, and life will become your classroom, and the rewards, oh, they'll show up when you least expect them. Let me tell you, activity alone is not the key to success. Just because you're busy doesn't mean you're growing. Just because you're moving doesn't mean you're progressing. You see, there's a missing piece for many people in their 24 hours. It's not more work, it's not more hustle, it's reflection and rest. Because here's the truth: we are not machines, we are human beings, and we need time to think, to recharge, to step back and see where we're going. It's not the hours you put in, it's what you put in the hours. You can be busy all day and still be far from your goals. Why? Because motion is not always progress. Running on a treadmill will exhaust you, but it won't take you anywhere. That's why successful people do something very few others do. They pause, they reflect, they review. And I want to give you this reflection is the bridge between experience and wisdom. Experience alone won't teach you. You've got to evaluate it. You've got to look back, ask questions, extract the lesson. If you go through 30 days of activity but never reflect, you've missed the most important part. You've got energy but no direction. You've got motion but no meaning. That's why I suggest take a few minutes at the end of each day. Sit quietly, think, ask yourself, what did I do today? What did I learn? What can I improve tomorrow? And let me tell you, it's in those quiet moments that breakthroughs come. You'll hear your own thoughts. You'll catch your own patterns. You'll see your next step, and it doesn't take hours. Just 10 to 15 minutes of reflection can change the direction of your life. See, successful people, they don't just live by default, they live by design, and design requires attention. It requires strategy, and strategy requires time to think. Don't be afraid of quiet time. That's not wasted time, that's powerful time. Now let's talk about rest. Rest is not a weakness, it's not a break in the journey, it's a part of it. Even nature understands this. There's a season to plant and a season to harvest, but there's also a season to rest the soil, because if you overwork the land, it loses its strength. Same with you. You push and push, no sleep, no breaks, just hustle, but eventually the machine breaks down. Your mind grows tired, your energy fades, your focus drifts, and you wonder why you're no longer producing results. It's because you forgot this powerful law of rest renews you. Rest is where strength returns. Rest is where clarity is born. Rest is where your creativity gets a chance to breathe again. Take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live. A tired mind makes poor decisions. An exhausted body underperforms, but a renewed person, now that's someone who's dangerous in the best way. Sharp, focused, purposeful. So don't just fill your day with work, fill it with balance. Work, yes, push hard, yes, but also recover well. Build rhythms of rest. Take short walks without your phone. Sit in silence, get quality sleep. Take care of your health, because energy is the foundation of productivity. You can't give your best if you're running on fumes. Now combine that with reflection. Now you've got a strategy. You reflect and you renew, you learn and you rest, you grow and you heal. That's what allows you to keep going, not for a week, not for a season, but for a lifetime, because this journey of success It's not a sprint, it's a marathon, and the ones who win are not always the fastest, but the ones who pace themselves, who think deeply, who rest wisely, who stay consistent over time. Make time to rest, not because you're lazy, but because you're preparing for what's next, and make time to reflect, not because you're behind, but because you want to grow ahead. Success isn't just about what you do, it's about what you understand, and understanding comes from pausing, from listening, from looking inward. Use your 24 hours well, don't fill every moment with noise. Sometimes the quiet moments are the most powerful. Rest well, reflect often, and you'll be ready for the journey ahead.